So today on Rebuild Rescue, we have a lot of stuff going on. We got to go ahead and lower the 401 down, get it on its gear because we have to move the hangar around. We had so many things changing here. We had some other people that were in the hangar here. They moved out. There's more jets coming in. We just got all kinds of stuff to do. We got to get the Austin done. I got to go flying places. We're really busy. So welcome back to Rebuild Rescue. Let's just get at it. You ready, Joe?
Oh, I'm always ready.
All right, let's do it. Because we don't have all this here rigged, we don't have the landing gear completely rigged and to spec, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use some zip ties here and make sure this stays positively locked while we move these around. We have so many changes going on around here at the rescue hangar and just so many projects coming in and out. And we had someone move out of the hangar over there. So we thought it was a great chance to clean this up, move some stuff around, and kind of refresh the hangar a bit and get it more organized.
Are we on the nose here?
Sure are. Let's go down real slow.
That came off.
I don't know how long it's been since the 401's been down on its own gear, but I do have to tell you, it feels good and it looks good. I mean, everything went down good. The shocks are good. All the struts are good. So if you guys notice, there's been a big change on the other side of our hangar here. We got more jets over here because the airport needed more storage room. There was a company here that shipped some kind of supplies or something out. They moved out. You know, really, I mean, this should all be airplane stuff anyway. So, you know, I wish it was our room, but like I said, the airport needed all this space to store more fun airplanes, kind of like that one, which I would love to have a Conquest. But we also got to get this stuff here over to MJ Aircraft Interior. We've been talking about which way we were going to do it, and I think we got a solution. So Sam stopped by the rescue hangar because he wanted to measure the Toga, because the Toga has the same fuselage as a Seneca he's flying, and he's headed to Columbia in a few weeks, and he was wondering how much stuff he could store inside the fuselage. I mean, I had heard the Cherokee 6, I think, originally, or this fuselage was to fit a casket in here.
Yeah.
So, no, actually, so what we were doing is we have the interior to the 401 that we got to take out to MJ Aircraft out in Indiana, and we're trying to stuff it all in an airplane and fly it out because, well, last time I went to Indiana, it took me 11 hours to go there, and I don't have a spare 22 hours of driving, and we have airplanes. So if we can somehow stuff them in one of the airplanes, fly out, it's going to be a much funner trip, and also we can fly. So.
Yeah. Time to spare, go by air, but hey.
Yeah, time to spare, go by air. But yeah, so we're measuring what the difference is between the Cougar and the Seneca and or Saratoga fuselage to see if we can fit all of that stuff in there. What do you think, Joe? Do you think it's going to fit?
Yeah, I think we got that.
I think it'll fit. I think it really will. I mean, if you
7 feet 4 inches from back to front, to the back of the seats to the back.
All right, so 7'4".
37 to the top there. 41 inches.
41 there. And how wide is it up front a little bit? 41 rear wide.
47.
47. And this is like real world. This isn't like looking in a magazine. So the question is, if we have a Cougar we could use, we have a Seneca we might be able to use, right? Which is the same fuselage as the Toga. How's the Cougar? Because, man, the Cougar is only a 4-seater, but there's a lot of room in them. Like, a lot of room.
Let's go look at the Cougar.
All right, so we're going to go measure that. Whoa! I think we missed the retainer. Is it just me, or when you pre-flighted, did you check the air in your tire?
It's just you. No, that needs air. That needs air.
All of them need air.
Oh, good. That's why it landed nicely.
Yeah.
What are we?
Just for full disclosure, Sam is old. So it takes him a little while to get up and stuff. No, actually, Sam hurt his knee he was ice skating, or was that figure skating, right?
Pickleball.
Oh, you're a pickleball.
Pickleball.
He was pickleballing.
When you're too old for pickleball, you're
It's a
really
high
old.
impact sport.
All right, first one. 42 inches wide.
What are you doing? Did you take carpentry in college, Sam?
Yeah, I did. Okay, from the back to the front is 73 inches. The Saratoga is winning badly.
Yeah, the Saratoga.
Saratoga.
Yeah. So how about height?
Yeah, after the seats are down will be 45 inches.
Interesting. So when you look at the Toga, Seneca, you know, that Cherokee 6 fuselage, 88 inches long. I mean, that's a long area, which makes sense. I mean, you know,
right.
they built it. They were going to haul some caskets in there, right? So it's 88 inches long, 41 inches in the rear wide, 47 in the front wide, 36 inches high. The Cougar is 42 inches wide in the front, 73 inches long, and 45 inches high. Is that with the seat folded down?
That's where the seat would be folded down too.
Okay. So height-wise, it's got another 10 inches. Width-wise, Seneca has another 4 inches. No, 5 inches. Yeah, that 11 inches of length, you know, makes a pretty big difference. But the height difference, I mean, it's really comparable. And the nice thing is, you don't have to take seats out of this. You just drop the seats down.
Right. Nice thing about the Saratoga, back door.
Back door, right? Yeah. So
the cargo door on this isn't that great.
We'd have to lay these down, and we'd have to just keep handing stuff in.
Surprising that they're that close when it's a 4-seat versus a 6-seat.
Yeah, this should have been a 6-seat.
Yeah, we should have had bigger engines.
Should have been a 6-seat.
Should have had bigger engines on it.
Yeah. Well, everything should have bigger engines.
True that.
So it's just the rule.
True that.
What's up, Greg? So we're measuring the difference between like a Toga Seneca and the Cougar as far as the dimensions to see if we can shove all that 401 interior in so we can fly it out to Indiana instead of driving it. And I think in a Seneca, I think they'll all fit. Because the Seneca's got like 11 inches longer, it's got like 5 inches wider.
And it's got big doors in the back.
And it's got a big door. You need a step stool.
I need something. What'd you guys do?
To the door. That was Joe. Now that we had all the measurements we needed, we headed back up to the rescue hangar to get everything moved around and get it all cleaned up. A few weeks ago, I was in the fuselage and I got all the pulleys all freed up, got them cleaned, got them lubed. We got back here to the back of the tail and we found a pulley right in here. That pulley is locked up solid. There's some corrosion on the mounts. There's some issues back here. Well, the bigger problem is to get to it, way up there, there's a panel. It's probably 1.5 feet up from the end of the tail. Well, that panel is so you can access this back here. So now we have a problem because we can't get into this pulley to get the pulley off, get it cleaned up, and I actually want to replace the bolt. When I looked at it, the bolt looks very rusted on one side. I don't like that, but we have two choices. We can either remove this plate that Joe and Keith installed months ago, and then it'll give us a little area to get up there. Maybe we'd have to make a custom wrench or something to get around the corner, or we have to uninstall the rudder and the whole elevator system, which puts us back days. All right, so now that we got these two plates off the bottom, so Joe and Keith made this whole assembly like months ago and installed it, and this tail was really bent up, and man, they did like a really, really good job. But if you look up underneath here, it is like, yeah, right there's the pulley. So that's gonna allow us to pull that out and fix it the right way. I was able to loosen it up with a big pry bar, but now we can take it out and it's 100% right. And it's only gonna take us maybe an hour to put that back in, to reinstall this plate. But I'm gonna leave that plate out actually for, well, I think until we're done completely rigging this tail, both the rudder and the elevators and everything else, because it's the only access we have up in the tail of the airplane at this point.
So I'm down here with the 402, and we're looking to see what the pulleys are like in the back here. They're definitely there, and they look to be in a lot better shape. I don't see any kind of corrosion around them. They look clean, they don't look rusty at all. So now my next problem is, how do I get in there to get that out? So obviously we can't go in that hole. This is the hole Jason was talking about. And I'm going to see if I can reach in there through there. Obviously I'm only going to get one arm in there at a time, so I'm not sure how this is going to go. Okay, so I can barely get my finger to touch back there. So, but I can get to it. There is a nut on the back side. I gotta see if I could get a wrench on there and position it somehow that it's not gonna rotate or fall off. Okay, so now I got my arm stuck in there.
I literally said, what if Joe got stuck?
I got jammed in there, and as soon as my elbow popped past, I was like, oh no, I get that out. I had to open dislocate to get out.
Is it in a good shape? Nice. Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, this like rotates way better, and it's in way better condition. So I went ahead and I got this plate off the bottom here. We just got to figure out how the heck to get a wrench in there on the back side of those pulleys.
Well, if you watch the video of me taking that one out, you'll see how fun it really is.
You got to do it through this hole. You had a much bigger hole to work in.
I don't want to go past that part.
You got little hands, don't you, Joe?
We almost resorted to some pretty serious measures, but then we were blessed with an A&P sent from the heavens.
We got one ratcheting, one not ratcheting.
Phone a friend for this bolt.
Phone a friend. There was no way that these, if you look here too, this is just eroding this whole pulley system. So there is no way these were ever going to free up in there. Really glad we went about that way and took them out and get them replaced. Well, if you stick around for a little bit, we might have to use you here.
No, I'm just so frustrated. I had to step away.
Hey, we were frustrated too. I'm glad you got frustrated and stepped away.
You gotta really wonder. You remember that old adage about the guy with the PhD designs the airplane, the guy with the master's degree builds the airplane, and the guy with the 4-year degree flies the airplane, the guy with the high school diploma repairs the airplane. So the guy with the PhD, you know, he didn't give a how difficult it was to do something.
Dang. Let me get you your nut and washer. You can stop in more often. That's talent right there.
Yep, you're in.
That was so easy. Thank you so much. There is no way that I was fitting anything in there whatsoever. Just like that, everything works perfect. I think I have all the stuff I need, because once I get in that tail, I'm gonna be in there for a while. So what do I need? All right, so hopefully I can take these parts in here and all these screws and tools, and when I come out, that tail's hooked up. If you guys remember, I had ran all the cables up to here. I checked all the pulleys, and I started working back in here, but it is really tight, and you kind of have to lay on all this stuff, but you're running it too, so it makes it difficult. And well, I think there's like 20 or 30 cables running back through here, or maybe it's like 3 cables and there's just a lot of it. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna crawl back in here, and I'm gonna go way up there and hopefully get all this stuff all installed over the next couple hours. Not sure if I'm the right man for this job.
You're just going to be in there planking for the next 2 hours.
Pretty much. I'm just trying to figure out like how I can be in here and see. All right, so we're back here in the tail. I'm looking at some of these control cables, and you know, this is the trim for the elevator, one of these, and the other is a trim for the rudder, and they're looking a little bit dirty. They're a little rusty. We're going to go ahead and clean them in place. Other thing I'm looking at is there are some differences in the way this connects and some of the pieces that are on it than what is actually in the manual. Guys, I gotta tell you what, I'm stuffed in here, and not taking it apart is making it really difficult to know where everything goes. So this is going to take me a long while to get it figured out. I might be stuck in the tail all day. Makes no sense. Completely stupid. Didn't see how it came out. All right, so number one thing I found that I don't like is being stuck in the tail of an airplane where I really don't fit. So we replaced all the bolts that we saw in the parts manual, but it designates the wrong bolt, and it had the wrong bolt in there when we took it apart, which is really bad. So we're gonna get the right bolt. It had a bolt with just a lock nut instead of a lock nut, you know, with a cotter pin. So we're gonna get the right bolt. I think we figured out how everything goes in there. Not taking that tail apart, I honestly, I don't ever want to try to figure one of these out again. I was probably back there for 2 hours just figuring out what cable's what, where it has to go, and the best way to do the install, because, you know, in aviation, there's only one way, and that's the right way. So yeah, so we're gonna grab a couple different bolts, and then I'm gonna shimmy my butt back in there, and hopefully we can get this put together. We went ahead and we went down to the 402, and we got this whole assembly out of the 402. There's a couple differences that we had found. We made some phone calls. We've read over the parts manual and, you know, the service manual 1,000 times. Finally got this assembly 100% correct. And the interesting thing that Joe and I found is some of it was wrong.
And there was quite a few differences.
Yeah, and that was wrong from what we took out of the 401. Double check the manual, double check the part numbers. It's 100% correct, and when you look at it, it makes sense. Literally, this had some bolts in that had no cotter pins, that weren't securely locked, and that goes to the elevator, which you know helps you fly and not die. So really important, and we're gonna get this thing installed, and then that elevator is gonna work. So I'm back here in the tail of the 401. Something I definitely learned is I'm a little bit claustrophobic, I think, because right when I get back in here, I really don't want to be here. Got that in, just have some cables to hook up now, and I can get out of here. So I was able to find the two that I need because they actually hook up to the autopilot back here. So I know that autopilot servo right there is the elevator. So that tells me that these two are the right ones. And I did leave the bolt in this one, which would be for the upper, and then this one will be for the lower. All right, Joe, do you want to go ahead and pull the yoke back and forward, and that'll tell me, hey. All right, I got the right two cables. And if you let it go, that goes in again. All right, well, let me hook them up. As I'm hooking it up, now that I have both cables here, one of them's hooked up, we don't have enough slack to hook into there. And I know there's these turnbuckles like is right here that gives you your adjustment. So Joe's up here looking through the whole assembly, so he's got to find those turnbuckles so we can give myself some slack, and then we can go ahead and get it installed, and then we'll loosen it up. Then we'll tighten. I can't even think straight. And then we'll tighten it back up. So we finally got that all assembled, and both wires are hooked up. This has been like a huge learning experience. have someone else that's smaller rig up the tail on the airplane, and B, you know, it's just a lot of learning about airplanes. It's different. Everything is good. Everything is back to 100% completely original with all the right bolts, all the right nuts, all the right washers and spacers. Everything was done right. So we just got to go up to the front, do a little adjustment, and then everything's going to work. You're going to be happy to get out of here. All right, so Rob and I are going to be headed over to Winchester, Virginia today. We're going to go check up on the Saratoga engine, and honestly, guys, I just really didn't feel like working in the hangar today. I felt like going flying, and Rob always obliges when we want to go flying. So we're going to head out there, and we may make another stop or two along the way. Maybe Blair County. I don't know. Maybe who knows where we're going to end up. Vegas. Want to go to Vegas today?
Not in this Warrior 8.
Chester County traffic. Cherokee 980 Whiskey is departing 29 to the southwest, Chester County. Yeah, so we're leveled out. We're going like right over the Susquehanna River. We got about an hour to go, and you know, we're gonna go and check out and see how the Saratoga engine is doing, and we have to get some log entries and stuff like that for the 235. The 235 is almost done. I was hoping that's what we would have been flying today, because I really want to check it out. We did electronic ignition on it. We did ported cylinders, like pretty much a lot of the same modifications that are done to buckshot, but it's an 0540. It should make about 265 horsepower, 270, which on a 235, that thing should be a heck of a cool airplane. We're going to be selling that, so I'm going to fly a little bit after, you know, to break it in, and then it's going up for sale, and we might have another one coming right behind it. So yeah, for like full disclosure, I do have an airplane problem. We want to flip at least one a month. You know, we're taking some of those funds, we're putting it aside for you know, doing some special things for some special people. So you guys are going to get to see that in the future. You know, there's been so much planning in the background and so much going on. You know, honestly, the 401 project, taking that on, I'd have to say there was a lot of I could almost say ignorance there, you know what I mean? Knowing what I was getting myself into and the team into.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
We've come so far, and she'll be wrapped up soon, but we need some other projects to do because we're going to get bored pretty quick. So, you know, so we've been focusing on making that happen. Hopefully one of these cameras was on somewhere, because I forgot to turn that one on, but it was an excellent landing.
It was.
I mean, the camera wasn't on, so that I got to say it was an excellent landing.
Yeah. That looks like your type of plane right there.
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of them here I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at, like I'm seeing all these airplanes here that we can nab.
Yeah.
You guys all know I have a problem buying things I probably shouldn't. Whenever I come to an airport, the first thing I start doing, my head's on a swivel, and I'm trying to figure out what the next victim is. When we landed, obviously there was a bunch of other airplanes that caught my eye, but this 340, this is pretty much like a 401, but it's a 6-passenger. I don't know if it doesn't look that much smaller than a 401, but I know it has pretty much the same wing and the same engines, and they're really cool airplanes. So this caught my eye right away.
So we checked out the Toga engine overhaul progress, and we got the log entry we needed for the 235. Now it's time to head out to Blair County.
Go ahead over here in the run-up area. We'll get a run-up, check everything out, see how it is, and then Rob and I are going to head up to Altoona, Blair County Airport, where they have like a really killer Mexican restaurant. Do you like Mexican?
I love it.
Do you want to get some Mexican while we're there?
I don't know if I want to be in a plane with people who just have Mexican.
Come on. Winchester traffic, Cherokee 980 Whiskey is departing 32 to the northwest. Winchester traffic. Altoona traffic, Cherokee 980 Whiskey's final 2-1. Altoona traffic.
Nice.
Welcome to Altoona. All right, so we're here at Altoona, Blair County, Altoona Airport. I've been here a number of times because I do have the cabin that's near here, and I also have family from up here. So we're gonna go ahead and stop. I think we're gonna get some tacos, and then we're gonna head back. You want to be
Taco Tuesday, baby.
Do you want to be in the airplane with me after having tacos?
I don't know. You want to be in the airplane with me after I have tacos?
I don't know, Old Buckshot looks pretty lonely over there, so I think we should take off and head back.
I agree.
You ready?
It's time.
All right, let's get out of here.
It's time.
After eating way more Mexican than we should have, it was back to Chester County. There, we hopped in the car to head to Mr. Dent to get more work done on the Austin.
All right, so we're back here, day 2 with the Austin, and Joe and I have a lot of work to do to it. So we're gonna just go ahead and jump right in. We got a convertible top to put on. We got grills to put on. What else do we have to do?
Everything.
Everything. So let's just get at it, man. All right, so over at the hangar the other day, Joe got this all blast in the vapor home machine and got some paint on it. We were excited to put it on here because other than the paint, I think it'll be the nicest part on the whole car.
The air filters?
Yeah, I just cleaned them. Did you see that?
Yeah. Good job.
You know what? If I put these on though, I can't spray any starter fluid in there.
It shouldn't need any anymore, does it?
The visual just popped in my head of like Mad Max. Joe painted the silver paint all over his face, like leaning over the MG, like putting carb spray in here while I'm flying down the road. Did you ever see that movie?
Yeah.
Right. All right, looks like that's how it goes in. I think that's how it goes in. So we got the air cleaner on there. That looks really good. One of the things that's been really bugging me about this is this old grill is just old and, well, it needs some help. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna clean this up. I'm gonna get some fresh paint on it and get it installed. Where'd this emblem go? Right in the middle?
It was like off the side.
I think we're gonna put it over here. All right.
I was thinking it was going to stand out more with the different paint job, but it looks pretty seamless.
Yeah, it looks good.
Looks pretty solid.
Nice.
can now run for the King of England.
The King of England.
I'm UK royalty.
Joe Stover, Duke of Mannheim.
Dookie of Mannheim.
So I'm trying to remember how each and every one of these pieces went in there. There's quite a few pieces.
It's a little bit like a puzzle.
A lot like a puzzle. So it might take a couple attempts. So got the carpet all in. I think it's correct. Probably not, but I did the best I could. And I got our Union Jack pillow that's going to go with the car. Got that all cleaned up and ready to go with.
All right, it's looking good. Nice. So while Joe starts working the top, I'm going to go ahead and put this door card, this piece, trim door, this thing here, over on this door here. I went ahead and I trimmed this by about a 1/2 inch so it'll fit here a lot better and it'll clear that new seal. Really looking different, you know, just with a couple different additions. It brings out the red in this paint job. And I gotta tell you guys, this red looks sweet. I can't wait to see this on the 401. But we are missing this emblem right here. So I do need to find one of those and order one for the front. But it's all coming together. It's looking really good. I'm gonna go ahead, get this thing up in the air and put the exhaust back on. And I'm gonna put those on so I don't crush myself. There's a clamp up there on the, there you go. I'm holding it up with my face right now, so like literally. I can't get my hand up here and do both at the same time.
There we go. Now we might be able to go up to where we need to.
The problem is the mount isn't there anymore. So we're gonna have to fix that.
Well, let's at least get this attached.
We noticed that there was a mount here for the exhaust. Well, it broke out of the floor. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna source some material that we can put in here, and I'm also gonna go and source a mount for the exhaust. I'm just gonna come up with a better way of mounting that exhaust. Plus, there was never a mount all the way from here up to the header on the floor of the car anywhere for the exhaust. So we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna source one of those. I'm gonna source a mount for the back, and we're gonna patch the floor up. Should be perfect. All right, so we got that all finished up. It's good to go. Now I got to go to the parts store and get an exhaust mount.
All right, so we got the rudder all hooked up. I think everything's good, and there's only one way to find out. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna get the yoke installed and see if it actually works. All right, so we're only gonna temporarily install this yoke because we do have to finish it up. We have some wrapping to do to it yet, but I think we got it on there well enough. All right, let's see if it works. Ready, Joe?
I'm ready.
Something's moving.
It feels good. How's it look?
Looks like it's moving.
Is it moving?
It's moving.
All right, so it looks like the elevator's all installed correctly. Everything is working right. And it's another step down on the 401 project. We still have a lot of stuff to do. Guys, thank you so much for coming along. As always, thank you for being part of the rescue crew. Take care. Oh. I almost knocked myself out. Give me a minute.